Did you see that picture where Chinese head, Indian head, and the Russian head, they're all together standing hand in hand? Did you see that?
No.
Oh, you didn't see that iconic picture? Like after this whole tariff thing was going on and President Trump was trying to technically bully certain nations in some sort of way, at least what it looked like. Putin, PM Modi, and Xi Jinping, all three of them together, hand like holding the hand. India, US, India, Russia, China together.
I mean, I probably saw it in a news article, but I haven't. It's not something that
Do you
stands
think
out.
temporarily, if these three countries come together and align, US is in trouble?
The US is already in trouble with the alignment that those countries have had and have established already. If China can learn to grow India and Russia and grow their capability independently without seeing them as a threat, then the BRICS nations will become even more dangerous to the Western nations than they are now. If you just compare the BRICS against the G7 is all declining and the BRICS are all increasing. The problem is China has to determine how strong it wants to let its allies become. It's because China does not do things original. China copies. And right now it's copying a model from the United States after World War II. After World War II, the United States did not let any allies get strong. They made everybody reliant on the United States. They consolidated to make sure that countries were forced to trade with the United States, that countries were forced to accept the US dollar, that countries were forced to take American loans. China is going to try to do the same thing. They're trying to do the same thing in a different time. So if China can learn to do it better than we did it, we're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, as long as China is just trying to copy what we did, Russia and India know the game. They know how to avoid that.
What is that one conspiracy that you believe is true?
That's such a good question. I don't believe in conspiracies. I don't have one.
If I have to reframe it, what's one thing that the world doesn't believe as much, which you know is true?
Ooh. I think the world doesn't believe that we're going to use nuclear weapons. I think the world believes that we're going to not use them.
I think we're going to use them?
I think we are going to use them. I just don't think we're going to use them the way that people assume from history that they've been used. Most people, when they think of nuclear weapons, they think of a giant missile or a giant bomb that's going to get dropped from a plane on a major city center. And it's going to be Hiroshima all over again, Nagasaki all over again. That's not what's going to happen. But that's what people, when they think about nuclear war, they still think about that. They still think 1980s, 1990s, Cold War, mutual assured destruction. I think it's much more likely that we're going to see either a dirty nuke, something that a terrorist uses or something that a criminal organization uses, or we're going to use a tactical nuke being a small nuclear warhead on a rocket, a small nuclear device that's delivered by the military, something strategic or something tactical and small, but still nuclear. And when that happens, we're not going to know what the fuck to do. Think about the United States right now. The United States has consolidated its many naval resources in the Caribbean. Imagine if there's a nuclear-capable shoulder rocket that's in Cuba, Venezuela, Colombia, right? You name it. Jamaica. Just one. Nuclear-capable. Just maybe something that weighs 15 pounds, right? But has an explosive potential of 5 kilotons? Something small. If that's launched into the ocean, it's international waters. If it explodes, it will destroy the entire carrier fleet. All the planes, the carriers, 3 or 4 supply boats, every person that's there. But it happened in international waters. and it was a nuclear explosion. That's why it was so big. What do we do then? Who do we hold accountable? Do we blame the country that the missile was launched from? Do we blame the transnational group, whether it was a cartel group or a terrorist group that launched it? And do we respond in kind? Do we launch a nuclear tomahawk into Jamaica? What do we do? I think we're very, very close to that moment.
Which country is probably going to do it?
I don't think it's going to be a country at all. I think it's going to be a transnational threat. It'll be a cartel. It'll be some sort of rogue element from Ukraine or a rogue element from Russia or somebody who's smuggling weapons through Belarus. Ugh. Or it'll be some sort of rogue element that smuggles through Belarus, but it's not going to be a clear-cut national threat. Even if it was China launching a small tactical nuke from its shoreline against the Taiwanese military vessel that's going through the straits, what are we going to do? Is that nuclear war? Is that not nuclear war? Do we engage our nukes? Do we let Taiwan and China just trade tactical nuclear weapons in the straits of Taiwan?
Which country is going to be the safest if the world comes down to a position where so many small wars are breaking? Like, we see what's happening with Russia and Ukraine. We saw what's happening with Israel. There was problem between India and Pakistan, where India destroyed their entire military bases, which was sort of giving birth to terrorism. Then it's happening like in different parts of the world. There are soft protests going on. There are hard protests going on. The government's changing. There's a bunch of chaos. And if this accelerates, resulting to, let's say, nuclear or other things, which country do you feel is the safest?
There's a few. New Zealand, I think, is the safest. If you can make your way to New Zealand, you're so far off the radar.
Is that where you're going to be after 2027?
Possibly. I'm not ruling it out. But New Zealand is a great location. Madagascar is another great location. Switzerland, if you're going to stay in the European landmass, Switzerland is a very good location. I would also argue that a place like southern Argentina, Argentina is going to get involved, but it's not, the southern part of it is going to stay relatively safe. But then there's also island chains, right? Like there's islands in even the Hawaiian Islands will be safer than, say, mainland USA. Bali will be safer than other parts of Indonesia. So there will be places that you can go where you can have food stability, physical security, modern medicine, modern capabilities.
थैंक यू सो मच ये क्लिप एंड तक देखने के लिए. अगर आपको और भी ऐसी क्लिप्स देखनी है तो राज शमानी क्लिप्स चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए.